Hello, everyone. This is Kathleen with the Poetic Dimension, Poetry Beyond the Box, typically with Eric Estabrook, who unfortunately can't be with us this evening, but we're going to read his poetry. We have with us Carol Ann Edscorn, and we have our friend Tom. Welcome, guys. Thanks so much for being here to discuss poetry this evening.
Right.
Yep. All righty. So we've got a couple of different topics going on. This happens to be Valentine's Day, February the 14th of 2016. So one of the topics is going to be love. And I have a poem here by Eric Estabrook. And with his permission, I'm going to read that for us now. And it's for this Valentine's Day. I've written books with thoughts traversing into realms where only the mind had gone. I tell you I have words, advice, poems, stories, but I'm no bleeding heart. People have looked at me like I'd been an expectant groveler. Fool you are that you'd think the words I use would give you a power over me. I tell you this is self. I belong to what I choose. I need what I choose to use, and I didn't make a prism for a, shit tower you fools. My pen style is of love, faith, and reality, but also dreams, life, and profound wisdom. I'm not bowing to a mission or stuck on by my own intuition. It is your inference that makes you caught. I will say something to your lovers out there. Never cheapen your heart. As sure as it sustains you, it is only meant for the one that also sustains you. Never use need or want as an excuse. Find the fulfillment of you for the whole of you. I will give you a core of words to go with the heart. If you love me, if you love you, the rest will come. Don't live your life to please anyone. When you feel life at full mirth, never dampen it with hateful words. Think past yourself and for the light. If you feel love in any sense, recognize for what it is and not its simple ingredients. Don't cast shadows. Chase what the heart can't do without.
It's
where to start? Yeah.
Where to start. It's hard with Adam to ask questions, but I do like it. I mean, it says go for it. I can definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think the core, at least it jumped out to me, was if you love you, the rest will come.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the greatest love of all and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it happens to be the truth. That if you're in a position where you have all these different things resonating that aren't true and aren't self-love, it's not going anywhere. Carol Ann, your thoughts?
Well, like anything dealing with love, it can be misunderstood because, love yourself, I mean, that's narcissism in some circles, and so that's not real either. But I know.
I guess you have to define what love is, right?
Right. So it has too many spins on it. But to me, he's definitely not talking about selfishness or the super ego kind of arrogance that is narcissism. He's definitely talking about the kind of love that is nurturing and caring about oneself and strengthening oneself so that you can turn around and pass that love on.
Right.
Yeah. I don't. It's definitely not narcissistic love. It's I think he talks about fearless love. And
yeah.
And not that you love yourself, but you just have comfort in the way you love and go for it. I don't think it's narcissistic. I just think it's.
No, I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that if someone does a cursory kind of look at that kind of language, a narcissist will see it narcissistically, and somebody who's spiritual will understand the truth of it.
Yeah.
Boy, he really is looking at this topic from a lot of different angles, isn't he? Because then over here he says, my pen style is of love, faith, and reality, but also dreams, life, and profound wisdom. And life is hanging in the balance between these different forms of love. It's between the emotion and the practical application.
Different expressions.
Different expressions, yeah, for sure. Interesting. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks so much. We're so sad that he can't be here to read it himself and really explain where he was in the thought process of this. But that was For This Valentine's Day by Eric Estabrook. Okay, and now we have a beautiful poem by Carol Ann Edscord. And the one that's here, Carol Ann, is the haiku series.
Okie dokie. So moving over. This came about because I was just like overwhelmed with all of the various ways of, like you said, expressing love and how at different ages and stages. So the title 10, 16, 25, 40, and 60 are ages of human beings. So it's a haiku series on developmental awareness, the developmental milestones of human life. So that's how it's scaffolded. So, love is gross, kissing, nasty. I will never kiss a girl. Ew, it's totally wrong. Oh my God, he's cute. I'm dying here, just dying. What if he says hi? Going out clubbing. Existential angst prevails. Hope I'm getting laid. Diet, exercise, flowers for my partner. Love is paying the bills. Loving every crease, caressing time-worn hands, breathing together. Love is misunderstood, misrepresented, misconstrued, misinterpreted, mistaken, misery, misogyny, mystery, mystical, missed opportunity, memories, elation, exasperation, illumination, expectation, exaltation, enlightenment, engagement, infringement, future. Love is love.
Bravo.
Yeah, I like that.
Did I capture those voices good enough?
Yes, you did.
Are you capturing it from I guess from a male point of view, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, you kind of go back and forth, yes.
Yeah, I think it's all male, right?
That first gross kissing, that's the 10-year-old.
Right.
And oh my God, he's so cute, it's a 16-year-old. And the going out clubbing's a 20-something. Then
a male.
The 40-year-old being midlife crisis, and then loving every crease of breathing together is being 60, which is where I'm at right now. I've already been and done all the other stuff.
Yeah. Is it getting back to gross? Did it come full circle?
Not yet. You're bad. No. Well, it's because it's not physical anymore, like kids think of it as kissing, touch.
Like I like, was it alliteration?
Oh yeah, front and back in places, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got going on the miss, but I kind of liked it after a while.
Yeah.
Missed this, missed that, missed opportunity.
Yes.
But that's all the thoughts that were like, how do you, to be inspired for Valentine's Day, I read Shakespeare sonnets and Rumi and Khalil Gibran and what's his name? What was his name in the 60s? Rod McEwen.
Oh, yeah.
I found one of his books in my basement, and so I was really trying Maya Angelou and
Mm-hmm.
Emily Dickinson and Christina Rossetti, and so I was trying to read all these different things to get a handle on love, and they just all made it worse. Made it worse. So yeah, so that's what happened was some chaos and some fun about love.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you have any more thoughts, Tom, or we're good? We're ready to go.
Yeah, I like it. To be honest, I don't know what haiku is.
Oh,
Mm.
it's in its simplest, it's a Japanese form of poetry where you have 5 syllables in the first line, then 7 syllables, and then 5.
Mm-hmm.
And classical haiku is all about nature and spirituality, the spirituality of relationship. But in contemporary circles, I guess, if you do 5, 7, and 5,
It's a
that's a
haiku.
haiku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just, Eric got me going when we were talking about doing sonnets and stuff a couple of months ago about thinking about form more
Mm-hmm.
because I do tend to be more of a free-flowing
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
kind of gestalt poet, and so I've been trying to do more with form and
You
format.
feel, is that good for you or?
Well, I think it worked out okay with this.
Right.
You know, uh, it takes work to think of things so uh,
Structured. Yeah.
tightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 5 syllables. How do you
Right.
capture a 10-year-old thinking about love in
Right.
17 syllables? Yeah.
Right. All right.
Good
Okay.
brain exercise.
Well, we've made it through the love business.
Yeah,
And
I apologize. I didn't write a love one. Not that I don't feel love. I just sort of I don't know. I'm just
yeah,
busy.
I was thinking as I was hunting for that one, Tom, then I realized I don't think I got it. Is that most of what you do right in its essence,
Yeah.
everything that is true, it is love. And
Yeah.
we just
No.
take this one day to talk about a specific type of love, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
So we are now at Eric's next poem, and it is Happy Star Wars. And I guess I'll go ahead and share that. And this again is by Eric Estabrook. Find the light within. Find the you within that light. Attach it to your soul. Tether it to your body. Relate to relative corners of light. Fluctuate your light in powerful mastery. In times of sadness, be the joy you wish for, and parallel your journey with the masters. Merge your light with the force and shine forevermore. Happy Star Wars. Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. It's not just about a movie series. It's a pretty profound little piece.
Well, have you seen the Star Wars, Kathleen?
I've seen the first one.
So, how about you,
So not
Carol?
the recent one.
Have
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah, you might call me an addict.
Yeah, so it's to me the mythology just mirrors so many things that are true in life. So
Mm-hmm.
the force is light, and or you put any name on it. So it does say it.
Mm-hmm. Right. But he, just as you do, Carolyn, he has such a beautiful way of using imagery in his poetry.
Mhm.
Find the you within that light and attach it to your soul, tether it to your body. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any more thoughts about this one, Carol Ann, before we move on?
Well, just that I've been reading a lot about people dealing with sadness
Mm-hmm.
and how, like I was reading a psalm. I can't remember which one it was, like 91 or something, but a whole bunch of psalms, either by David or somebody in his court, that whine about the evildoers, and they whine about, oh, these people who are evil and bad are all successful. But what David always comes back to in that last stanza is to make a joyful noise. I will sing the
Mm.
praises of the Lord. I will sing to the Lord on Most High. And it just really struck me that as much as he was whining
Mm-hmm.
through that, for 8 or 10 stanzas of
Mm-hmm.
griping about life, which was actually rather blessed after all, but always coming back to that moment of joy. And
Mm-hmm.
so for Eric to pull it back and to be the joy you wish for,
Mm-hmm.
that's just the Judeo-Christian whole ethic is,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know, nobody can do it for you. You have to tether it and pursue it, make it your choice. And the
Mm-hmm.
way to transform that is to be the joy you wish to be.
Right. Well said. You look, you having some thoughts there, Tom?
No.
No?
No. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was Happy Star Wars, Eric Estabrook. All right, Carol Ann, skywalking, fictional science. This just goes many places.
Yeah, because I wanted to do a piece of actual history
Mm-hmm.
that explains my love of Star Wars beyond Star Trek, because I was indeed a Trekkie for a while, and I do still love Star Trek. That will never go away. Uh, but
The TV series or the movies that followed?
there's a difference, Kathleen. No, no.
Since I haven't seen the movies, I wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't have asked. Yeah, no. The prequel that they recently did, the 2 prequels were rather fantastically done.
Mm.
Nice job casting it.
So it's
You know,
all one song.
yeah, I had the history of it, and then when I finally learned to read,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with the autism and dyslexia and stuff, I was pretty much 5th grade, and then 6th grade when I discovered science fiction and science fantasy, and going out, and I wanted to be an astronaut, but I couldn't do math, sadly. But so it started out with the space program and everybody around their black and white TVs, and then I moved through my whole life to get to my love of Star Wars. So that's why it's fictional science, because Star Wars is, in spite of its, spiritual and relationship implications, is fiction. And
Mm-hmm.
yet, so much of it is indeed based on scientific principles that the space program has evolved. So, back to 1963. It was a miracle in many ways. We all stayed up to watch it in our pajamas, past bedtime. In front of the flickering gray screen, we sat spellbound in front of the television. 1963. NASA Mercury. Manned flight out of Earth's atmosphere. Not yet reading, I had not heard of Jules Verne's, H.G. Wells, Hugo Gernsback, Robert Heinlein, Ray Bradbury, Isaac Asimov, but I sat there enthralled with my notebook, listing every science phrase, every technology reference. I want so badly to go home, home to my stars. Watching in the dark of night while the family soundly slept, I peeked out at the tiny sparkles of light, at a constellation when I did not know the word constellation, and I did not know the label Orion. Home. I wanted and I want so badly to be an astronaut. And so, my love story. Space, the final frontier, striving to boldly go where no one has gone before, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Have you ever thought what it's like to travel in time? Oops, I'm missing a piece. Hold on, I'm sorry. That's not. Oh, come on. Okay. Have you ever thought what it's like to travel in the 4th dimension? Fascinating, logical, live long and prosper. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. But no, that cannot be right, correct, moral, or logical. Each life is unique, precious, made of the stuff of stars. Stars. Long ago. Humans make illogical decisions. We seem to be made to suffer. Everything's under control. Situation normal. Normal is a setting on my washing machine. Words and images evolving and swirling, daring one to participate. Do or do not. There is no try. There's bullies at school, bullies at work, people glaring and glowering, wounded child, wounded adult. Permission to speak freely, sir. These are not the droids you're looking for. No, looking for loving friends, for compassionate humans amongst the enormous diversity of the universe. Life isn't fair, but it's fairer than death. We're all fine here. Change is the essential process of existence in a galaxy far, far away. Right here, be here now. Hope awakens. Love awakens. What is the force? You stand here because of a human failing. This is true love. You think this happens every day? The gift of imagination, shared, enjoyed, expanded. I love dark, clear nights when constellation Orion sparkles over my cottage in the woods. I envision flying above. I envision hoping, connecting. It's difficult to see. Always in motion is the future. Second star to the right, and straight on till morning. At peace, with self, with others, with stuff, stuff, stuff. My love is a storybook story, as real as the feelings I feel. But not bold, not I. Far away, perhaps. Longing, as you wish. So many rules, so many people, so many noises, colors, and scents. I cannot even see this galaxy, cannot even see this star system. Many of the truths we cling to depend on our point of view. Living life? Have fun storming the castle. That's the end. And that there's quotes in there from Star Trek, Star Wars, The Princess Bride, Peter Pan, and I think one other story that I just forgot to mention, but it's all.
Did you read them all with the appropriate voices?
I tried to. I think
that is really beautiful. Yeah.
It's I could say it's epic. It was. It really was. I mean, it's just the way you brought them all together, and it was great.
Yeah. I really worked this one. This one took about 4 weeks, which is really long for me to work a poem. I'll throw it out before I work that long on most poems.
This really seemed like a big part of you, though.
Yeah, there is. I mean, all the quotes from "As You Wish" from The Princess Bride to "We're humans, we were made to suffer," which is something that Dr. McCoy says in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
I tried to get "Admiral, there'll be whales here" from Scotty in one of the films, but that didn't actually fit very well. The whales just kind of took too long to try to.
No, but they all come together. I mean, it's. I'm glad you took your time on it because I mean, it all fits. So it was really,
cool.
It was really good.
Thank you.
Definitely, thank you. Definitely a keeper.
Definitely.
But and then again, you're the only one who could read it.
Yes, for sure. Oh.
See, I guess that's the theater part in me that
Yeah.
I learned to read, but I didn't learn to do voices until I started doing theater in high school.
Yeah, no, those you did some good Yodas. I like those.
Okay, yeah.
But they're those quotes are I don't know. It just my Star Wars poem was sort of angry. Only because I do love Star Wars and Star Trek too. It bothers me that it's too goofy, and I'm so much more to the point, and it's so powerful, the point, and the quotes of Yoda or things like that. So I sort of lose patience with it. So my poem is more
is right here.
yeah, it's like I've had it. So anyway, darkness and light within all that was created, a tethered web of all matter and souls, infinite and eternal in time and space, inconceivable or forgotten in this moment and place. Known before, transmitted through disconnected sources, understood because it was felt deep inside us all. The darkness grows throughout the universe. The force weakens each and every day. Brought together in lies and manipulation that deny the truth of the force, light was turned to darkness in the universe. Fear sold and accepted by the masses who say they care. Truth in movies or written books replace our ability to escape our unsafe lair. The force rests dormant in us all. The truth and pain of the dark side will unfold. Fear and apathy walk us hand in hand on our path to slavery. The force will awaken as always, but for too many, it will come too late. 1 is 4, 4 is 7, 7 is 10, etc., etc., etc. No mystery there. The only question I have to ask is, why can no one see that it's not mythology but actually our fate? Can the force awaken before the darkness gets too strong? Must pain be endured to the extreme to break out of the dark side? Is that the only way? Is 1 the birth and 3 the end, that is reborn in 4 forever and ever? When will we learn what is the purpose? So.
Okay, Tom, what is the purpose?
I don't know, but it does repeat. So it's sort of, and that it was, this is very apocalyptical, but then every Star Wars is the same in that respect, and that's why I was sort of pissed at 7, because 7 to me is 4, which is 1 in the whatever trilogy of trilogies. That's sort of that was sort of my angry moment of writing that. So.
The force weakens every day. Go ahead, Caroline.
Well, no, the Lucas franchise really, when you do theater or write novels and there's a franchise or a series, it's like a promise with the people. Like, what if Harry Potter was done out of order? What if the Bourne Identity series or Die Hard was done out of order?
Right.
That breaks the promise that you have with your fans, with your disciples, your adherents, the people who invest their hearts and minds in what Lucas has created, and doing it out of order. I mean, when the 7th one, what was it? 4, 5, and 6 were the first episodes. So when the 3rd episode, which is episode 6, I'm like, well, how are they going to do the prequel and how, which was horrible. The 3 prequels were.
Yeah, no, horrible.
They were horrible.
Once I saw Jar Jar, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rightly so. But why didn't they do the prequels first, or at least abandon them? Because now you've got, Carrie and Hamill, Mark Hamill in there. Harrison Ford broke his leg on the set.
No, it kills it.
It's just, and yet I feel that this most recent episode was a return to the right spirit of it.
Yeah, maybe. I think
more so than the previous 3.
I'm tired, but 8 and 9. I mean, how they'll end. 8 will be dark, and 9 will be the epic struggle, and everything will be good.
It's formulaic instead of revelation.
Yeah. So, that was the point of this too. it's even in the world, it's almost like that. We it's the same formula that we live, which is sort of scary in itself.
Yes.
So that was the point.
Well, it's just that people are in different cultures, and I have friends that have moved here from Africa and from India, and they're like, and I have this one friend down in Brazil, and she's watching Trump and Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, and she's like totally confused and mystified by the American political system, and frankly, so are we. But it's just like people from other cultures simply do not get America. And I think we're gotten to the point where Americans don't get America either. And so Star Wars to me has started to reflect that, a sense of confusion about goals and objectives and dreams and where to go.
But it does. Confusion has it's all the same. Confusion, apathy, fear, and it always ends the same way. And that's shown in the Star Wars, and that's shown in every society. Confusion, apathy, fear, all going in one direction, the wrong direction. That's every. I mean, it just keeps repeating itself.
Well, which is why we need St. Valentine's Day and Easter and Christmas and high holy days to remind us to stop being confused and lost and angry.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
All right. All right. Sounds good. We'll leave it on that note.
I keep trying to be hopeful.
Well, I don't know. I think that when we really hone in on things that are true, that it does all those things that we're trying to artificially create for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is very hopeful.
But listen, in movies, I see great epic. Well, I don't want to use that word too much, but I see great truths. And I mean, even in Star Wars itself, I mean, you can watch it and see it unfold, but there is so much, defining moments for us to come out of it. It just always seems that it's got to go deep before it comes out, and you see light. I think that's what this talks about too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Just be ready. Next.
Next, okay. Oh, A Generic Sense of Love by Eric Estabrook. Read by Kathleen. Listen to love. Love defined by people in love. Forgo love as described by the poet and put yourself in love. To some, love might be two lonely clouds finding serenity with each other. Or maybe it's accepting your life. Maybe it's two people who complete each other. But wait, stop it. Stop listening to my version of love. With love, you can gain a sense of wonder. With love, you can fulfill your spirit with one familiar look. With love, also, you can alienate people. If love is the answer to everything, forgo the evolving brain and just stupidly reply, I'm in love to everything. This is not a warming sense of love. I wonder how many people who put love into everything like it was the only thing, just to find out that their loving way agitates. But if you can be anything, be in love. Counter your sorrow with heaven's rays. Equate the value of today and count the millions of God-given things that are free, and be in love with the fact that you are one of them.
Bada boom.
Bada bing.
Yeah.
That might be the least generic sense of love ever.
Yeah.
Okay, thoughts?
I don't know. I just feel good listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I don't really have to go too deep into it. It's just what it is.
He's handling the fact that he's trying to set people free to find their own definition of love, but then you still have to use words to explain that. But wait,
Yes.
stop it. Stop listening to my version. But then
Right.
he goes on
Right.
to expand it so that it's not his version at all. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
wonderment, his sense of wonder, his sense of exploring, his sense of um, embracing
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So,
Well, it sounds
every
like any mystic or any prophet throughout the ages trying to describe that which we call God.
Yeah.
yeah,
Stop listening to me and my version.
Right. Find it within yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Great poem.
Yep.
yeah.
Good job, Eric.
Good. Yay. Okay, Habits by Carol Ann Edscorn.
Great, and we had we've been missing each other for a couple of months now, and
Yes.
at one point we talked about doing something about pop culture or things that are within our culture, and for years I've been like noticing how women especially say, "I'm sorry,
Oh,
I
yes. Mm-hmm.
hurt you. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm taking too long in the checkout line. I'm sorry. Sorry about my kids. My kids are annoying you." Well, no, they're not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm sorry. And I'm like, so um, this is something that's kind of cultural, that's a little bit more American, that I think is actually even more so white American, not to sound racist about it, but just to recognize that I have a lot of friends from other cultures and other
Mm-hmm.
lifestyles,
Right.
and it seems to me like white women have this angst of apologizing and worrying and am I nurturing or am I being selfish, and we just question ourselves in our being, and
Mm-hmm.
that's because since the World War II and then the 50s and Gloria Steinem and everything, the past 50 years we've been questioning our entire being as a culture here. So this kind of came out of thinking of pop culture and women over the past 100 years. Yeah, right. So it's called Habits because it's habits of thought,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't need my glasses for this. It goes like, whoa, stop. Really, just stop it. And please just stop it now. I know. We women are notorious for blurting this so very often. Do you realize that you just explained "I'm sorry" for the third time? Apologizing for apologizing? I wonder because, I do the same thing. What burden is it that we carry? What misconceptions invades our thoughts and emotions? Just breathe in and out. Visualize a soaring eagle, a roaring lioness, a playing river otter. Imagine a strong wave roiling across the ocean, fresh fallen snow caressing a mountaintop, a crisp wind tickling wheat fields on the prairie. Can you, can I, accept our strengths, our courage, our talents and skills, our loves? Probably not. Eons of apologies, decades of dialogue of apologies, habits, patterns, beliefs, and lies, 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 lies. Our lies, though. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to offend. Sorry. Ta-da.
That's funny.
And
Well,
you're right. It is cultural.
and to
Um,
end on a humorous note.
it is, but you identify it, you joke about it, but it's probably the biggest I don't sin that there is in the world that's perpetrated on women, and it's so evident, So it's
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
you're all, and I hate to be like this, misogyny is a reality, but it's fed by both sides of the equation.
Sure.
It is. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're as it's hard to break out of on your side, but then again,
Mm-hmm.
men, we're all trained in the reality of that illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it
Mm-hmm.
is wrong,
Yeah.
and it keeps half the world down.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's victim mentality.
Yep.
But just because it's handed to us doesn't mean we have to take it.
That's right.
Pick it up. Yeah.
All right, let's start the revolution right here.
I'm sorry to admit that, yeah. But I look at other cultures, and women are
You're
still
right. Mm-hmm.
beyond second. They're low. They're second, not even second class citizens. In some tribes in Africa, my friend said that the woman has to do whatever the man says, even if he's not her husband. If the man has status in the tribe,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, there are many cultures like that. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I
Every
know that.
religion, it's indoctrinated into you.
Mm-hmm.
It's even God being He does it. I disagree with it all.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But you got to take it from Genesis time, right? In the beginning, He created us in His image,
Who
and
wrote
since
that though?
multiples, He's got to, by reverse logic, be a multiple. He's got to be both.
There's a
Male
duality, and
yeah.
we're all together. Listen, and if you read the Gospels of Thomas, Jesus says the last gospel is Mary has to become more like a man. Means that you have to deny it in some respect and be on even ground. But I think in Sufism too, there's a certain level where there's even.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes. Yeah.
it's there. It's just it's convenient not to bring it out for men, I guess. But
Mm.
it's not real. It's not real, and it's not the way it was I believe designed. It's just
I think
perpetuated.
we're supposed to be, yeah, we're supposed to be complementary in a very egalitarian way. I mean, however God is in God's reality, not out of balance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's fullness. It's a fullness. It's a completeness.
yeah.
But for
And there's
some
no weight to
reason,
one side.
yeah, well, yes. But somehow when we incarnate, we kind of break that up. Um,
Well, I don't
it's
know.
like a broken
I would
crystal
hope so.
shard.
I mean, understand it, but you have to fight for it, and you have to, I mean, you have to respect it on. You have to break the bonds of that reality from both sides,
From
as
both sides.
far as demanding it from your side, and as far as perpetuating it on our side.
Yeah, and I remember in the early 70s when I was very involved in politics in high school and college, and we're like, wow, there's women and they're getting into business more and they're becoming CEOs and
Mm-hmm.
politicians and lawyers, and we're going to totally radicalize the government because women are going to bring nurturing and a different kind of strength and courage. And they didn't. They became men.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and that was one of the saddest realizations I've ever had,
Yeah.
is that in order to succeed on planet Earth, we seem to have to sell ourselves
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
And I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they say it about race too. Black people how to become white people to succeed. It's
That,
not.
yes,
No, no
that's
one
I
can.
have actually witnessed that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one can be. You're not allowed to be yourself. So,
I think we're moving towards it, though. I really, really do. I think the more that we talk about the beauty of being unique, and it's not just a beauty, it's the reality, is that we've moved from, just a few huge masses of types of individuals to smaller and smaller subgroups until we finally realize,
I mean, do unto
we,
others, is universal, but it's got to cross the gender line too.
for sure.
It,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, I don't know. You would think we're closer, but we'll see.
Well,
But see, with men, if men become more kind, become more nurturing, become feminists in the gentle and communal sense of the word, then they're accused by the other guys for not manning up, So it's like no one, until we've reached that tipping point in the culture of more people believing in diversity and inclusion and acceptance and belonging, until we reach that point um, where one set of beliefs isn't
Yeah, you believe a person for what they
exactly.
do and who they are, not for what they're anything else. Nothing else really counts.
Yeah.
But it's you say we're closer, but I think that we're trying to legislate it to be so, and I think
that's very divisive. What you just said,
yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest problems right now. Is if we can start letting go of this terminology that divides, and it's not intended to, but that's the effect.
Yeah. So listen, my feeling is it's like equal right, equal pay for women. I mean, women have the ability to open a business and pay whatever they want.
Yes.
I don't get it. Or as far as ethnic taking care of different ethnicities for jobs and stuff like that. Everyone is America. I really believe everybody can open up a business and hire who they want and make the best product or give the best service they can.
Yes.
But to make laws to do it is so
well,
really
that's isn't what you're talking about. Isn't that the difference between a oh goodness, what are we? We're a constitutional republic.
Yeah.
Between a constitutional republic and we don't usually get political, but a democratic socialism.
Yeah, I think I'm more of a libertarian, and
for sure.
Yeah.
The individual is sovereign, is supreme, is an individuated part of God.
And that's what we fight. So if you break that down to the community of on a spectrum, I mean, we don't want a democratic. We want more of the right to do.
Yes, I agree with you. But if you look at the larger community, who is actually all the different innovative voices, quote unquote innovative voices, it's becoming very much what we have seen, what you guys are describing with equality as far as race and gender and whatnot. We're doing the same thing in the autism community, and it's going to hold us back for quite a while, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So.
You have thoughts on that, Caroline?
Well, because of my health, I've tended to be a couch potato for a number of years, almost decades now. And so I'm like continually looking for television and programming, and I'm missing my face again. Hi, there I am. And the kinds of concepts we're talking about transcending the statics of the culture and moving toward a more dynamic and inclusive.
Well, I'm thinking individual based, a unique, an appreciation for the unique individual.
But in all of the television shows that I've watched,
the
people who are supposed to be the creative script writers, the actors, in terms of media, there is not a lot of imagination. There is so much violence, so much raw sex instead of loving sex, and immaturity that, I know.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't watch much of that stuff. Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, going on, and people say things on Facebook. Oh, I just binge watched this show, or I binge watched that. Even Downton Abbey, which I love costumes and period settings because they're fun, but people were really seriously mean to one another then, and it's like, well, historical, and it was, because something is beautiful on the one hand, we fail to see the ugliness on the other hand. And to me, to bring it back full circle, that's kind of what the original Star Wars stuff did with the Force. There was the dark side, and then there was the Jedi. And that's the yin and the yang, the cross, the vertical and the horizontal, and it kind of had a sense of wholeness to that universe, to that galaxy far, far away. Seemed to have a sense of continuity, that even with the violence there was incredible beauty and spirituality, and so we all knew that Darth Vader was going to bite the dust.
Well, he didn't bite the dust. He was redeemed, and he He went to the
Yes,
light.
yes.
Yes. Uh,
Although the
I
emperor
might have to
didn't
watch
know
these
that.
things.
well, it
Yeah,
just shows that anybody can, no matter how dark you are, there's always a possibility of redemption.
yes. And
There's actually
that's
the inevitability of a redemption.
Yeah,
I
but
really believe that for
but,
everyone.
but then so you talk about, I mean, if you bring Star Wars and Star Trek into it, Star Wars is that flow of back and forth of the energy of light and darkness, but Star Trek is really offers a more of a free society
Mm-hmm.
yes.
where
Mm-hmm.
where everybody can participate. That was
Hmm.
the good thing about Star Trek. It was a much
Yeah, children and when it came out in the late 60s, it was on at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night
Mm-hmm.
because the uh, themes and issues that it addressed. I mean, my gosh, they had a black woman on the bridge of
yeah
the Enterprise.
yeah.
That was big. We don't see it,
Mm-hmm.
but in 67, 68, 69, that was huge.
Right. Yes.
Nicole, a huge.
And
And
don't forget the gay Asian they had.
oh, I know, but they didn't really. Well, that was a suspicion. I love Uncle George. Um, I hope to meet him before we all pass through. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it means
it
everybody was
was
equal. Everybody had opportunity. It was a great.
Mm-hmm.
everybody had opportunity,
Yeah.
and that's what they say: dream your dream, live your dream, choose your dream. And Tom, you were just talking about um, anybody could be paid what they need or what they're worth if they take actions, to open their own business, to do
Mm-hmm.
something that frees them from the constructs. And
Yes.
I'm in that place myself. So, I'm self-publishing my poetry and my essays and my short story. I just found out that Amazon has a free publishing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you can get your books on Kindle, and that's at least one way to start.
Mm-hmm.
I
You.
think part of the educational problem and all sorts of things is that we have education, but we don't have opportunity.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of young people, that's why I homeschooled my kids since 1986. Um, and I have given up teaching the university level is because kids don't have the skills.
No,
They've
they
been
do
through
not.
12 or more years of public school or even private school. They don't know how to write a paragraph. They don't know how to think, to think,
No.
to chew on something. Um,
All they
you
know
know,
how to do is study for a test to make teachers to make the school
Mm-hmm.
district look good. That's it.
to make the
Mm-hmm.
program a happiness for government,
Yeah.
and that's where the backwash from
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be really horrific as time goes on.
Oh yeah,
And the
destroying a
people,
generation of people
uh,
of
Well,
free minds.
how much do you think of that as part of the intentional dumbing down of America, Caroline, if you've seen that series?
oh honey, I wrote the book. No, 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 seriously.
I'm talking about a concerted effort
I
for,
believe that since
yeah.
that in the 1880s, 1890s, when the Consortium of University Presidents did the first cattle herd curriculum, and they
Mm-hmm.
wanted everybody to have the same education. That's when standardized education started because they wanted these wealthy white men wanted a working class that could just,
Yes. Yeah, I guess that would be the catalyst. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and that was the catalyst, and it's there's been that people that have broken from that, but as long as government is in the middle of it and people are not allowed to take care of their needs
Mm-hmm.
locally in our communities, our
Yes.
neighborhoods, I don't
Yes.
know what we got to take care of our kids. We got to give them opportunities
Well,
and
it's
I
all
don't know.
it's all created realities. School, women and their roles. It's all things that are I really think coming to a head because it's all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, for a while I went off the grid. Actually, I kind of joked that the 1980s people will say, "Well, what do you mean you don't know who John Bon Jovi is,
Yeah.
and kind of going like, there's all these people, and you should see. I've got to write a poem about hair in the 70s and 80s. I mean, people had like hair. I mean, Peter Frampton. Anyway,
Gotta get a hair blower.
gotta get a hair dryer. Use a vacuum cleaner. Well, because all I could think of was the lice that were in there, but that's another story.
Yeah.
The thing is that I went off the grid and did a lot of gardening and doing my own, but that was so labor intensive that I wasn't even to be able to be creative there unless I stayed up till midnight to write poems or songs and lyrics and music, and then be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do gardening again so that I could put food on the table. So, there's got to be a way to be local, to be intensively nurturing and opening doors. But people don't even know to ask the questions. I didn't even know to ask the question. I've had people say, "Oh, Carol Ann, you need to write a book." I've written a book. I've written 6 books. Hey, you got an editor? Nobody will give me the name of their editor or their literary agent.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to be started.
Nope, that's the wall right there, Carol Ann. Nice book. See you later. Bye. So, wow, somebody just told me that I've heard about self-publishing, but the app on Amazon is free. So, so now, Tom, I can take that step and start earning money on my art and my writing.
Good.
That's cool. That's exciting.
Don't hold back.
Don't hold back.
The only thing that gets in our way is ourselves.
Is ourselves, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. On that note, we have one more poem.
All right.
We do.
By Tom.
Well, I'll do it quick.
Inside the Sun.
But this relates to what astronomy and Orion and stuff like that. We are all stardust, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Isn't that a marvelous thing?
Yeah. Actually, I learned more of the process and how fusion creates all the elements and then blows up, and that's where we all come from.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I always say, with atheists, prove that, Bill Maher, you're all going the wrong. I said, prove that this could ever happen, and it wasn't a miracle of God. Prove that this is just a random thing in stars and elements and us being able to, in a perfect world with body, organisms that can talk and communicate with each other like this. Prove that it is just a random thing that happens out of nowhere.
If you get a chance to read the very last journals of Charles Darwin, he dissed his own theory of evolution.
Yeah.
He said
that it's too amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's a theory, and nobody's actually been able to prove it.
Yeah.
Because what you got are bones, and bones don't change.
No,
So,
from nothing to where we are now,
no.
It's too much. Anyway, inside the sun, the furnace burns, seemingly eternal. Chaos and purpose, creation of complexity brought together, unimaginable all but the sun itself. A fish traveling the ocean, flitting back and forth, never sleeping or alert, always for sustenance or destruction. Unfathomable to all but the fish itself. A tree grows in a forest, a lifelong quest for earth, water and sun, guarding against fire, ice, and heat. The struggle unimaginable to all but itself. A human born into the world, seeking only the love of God, bettered by the love of all with good intention. Countless missteps and successes unfathomable by all, except the one who lives that life. They only imagine that they are all that is real or valid. What if one day we could imagine being a star, a fish, a tree, or another human being, glimpsing with respect of their intention and purpose one day?
Beautiful.
Nice job. Really nice.
Yeah, it's we all. Well, the star thing was a tangent. I forgot I wrote this, but it was about our relative reality that we all live in. No one respects anybody else's, and do unto others, and be it an animal or anything, but start on the level of another human being.
Mm-hmm.
Just understand that we have no idea, as they have no idea what we go through every day. We have no idea what they go through every day.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Okay. One of the things I love to do to kind of play that little field of opening is that I mean, you all know I'm educated and I've been other places and traveled and stuff, but people will come into McDonald's or to Rite Aid. They see me at the register, right? And some people, they have their Coach purses. A guy came into McDonald's wearing an Armani camel hair suit. Sometimes I see an Hermes scarf, or something, and I'm just like, I always try to work in something like about the Magna Carta or Aristophanes or just something to just totally blow them out of the water because they don't see a cashier. They don't see a taxi cab driver. They don't see the waitress. And so if I throw something like, oh, look at your change is 1882. That's the year of the Council of Colleges. And, like,
Yes.
yeah, okay, yeah, you're not a cashier, are you? So it's kind of, yeah.
I think it's a
some way.
I think it's a gift, Carol, and life from both sides. It's good to come to live life from everywhere, and so it gives you balance.
I think it's kind of humbling to be aware that we're just one individuated point of consciousness in a big, huge, endless loop of oneness.
Big, messy soup pot of individual.
I kind of like the idea of a blueberry pie or better, we're all kind of a soup inside the soupy blueberries or sugar and stuff. But that's okay.
Well, you're a couple of my favorite blueberries, I'll tell you that.
Well, I was really very, just to kind of, Tom made a comment in one of the emails when we were trying, like, around Christmas and December to figure out a time together, and you were just like, well, just pick a time, because what I'd like to do is spend all night making poetry with all of you. And so, Tom, I've been thinking about that. And I'm thinking that maybe come summer or something, maybe some Friday or Saturday night when we're not, plan a night for the future and just pull an all-nighter and write poetry, maybe do a Skype session or something, and do that. So we
can say it and try to do it. That's the best we can do.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna, given what we do with technology and our time in one another, I think if we aim for June, we might.
Sounds good. Okay.
Might be a good one. Yeah.
June 21st. I'm good.
You got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, wrap it up, Cass.
I am. Thank you so much, guys, and we definitely miss you, Eric. I know you're listening.
Miss you,
Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.